Okay, okay. So hello everyone, and I think all of you are in a good health. And आप सब लोगों ने जो रिस्पॉन्स दिया है मेरे को टेलीग्राम ग्रुप पे एंड मैसेज पे, एंड आपका जो प्यार मुझे मिल रहा है, एंड दैट इज आउट ऑफ द वर्ल्ड, एंड आई एम जस्ट लविंग इट. So, and I hope you all love to see those videos. Okay, so yeah, this is our third class, and we have completed the basics of the Pythons, and like the how what is the history of Python, why we are using the Python. And in the last class we have discussed about the setup of a Python, right? So now in this very class we're gonna discuss what is VS Code and how can we set up our Python file, or how can we manage our Python file in the VS Code, how to debug a Python code, and we will go to write our fast code. And obviously after writing our fast code there are some points which I have to discuss. Those are the basic points of Python. So before deep diving into those codes, we have to learn what are the features that is provided by the Python. So that will be discussed in today's topic. So without further ado, let's get started about our class. Okay guys, so this is some points how you can just setting up your environment in VS Code. So in the previous video we have already discussed how you can install your VS Code, right? So we have discussed how to install your Python ideally, as well as install your VS Code from the official website, right? So we have to go to the official website. The link is already there. So to get this link or this PPT, you have to join our Telegram group. So we will discuss it at the end of our session. Okay, so now in the next step we have to install the Python, right? So for installing the Python, what we can do, let's move to the VS Code and let's see what we have to do and what not. So yeah, as you can see, this is the total interface of our Python, and whenever you just open your VS Code, you can see there is a welcome page which is given by this VS Code. So yeah, we can cross it. Okay, now what we have to do, we have to create our Python extension. We have to install our Python extension in order to use the Python file. So for that, just click on this extension and search for Python. If you search for this Python, you can see at the very first there is Python. So in case of your end, it is installed, but as I have already installed in my VS Code, so it is showing uninstall. Okay, so in your case it will be showing install. So click on the install. It will take some time depending upon your net speed. So after doing that, you just you have to do nothing with this. Okay, so it is completed. Your Python file download is completed. That means you can now use any code in Python file. Okay, so one more thing, beside this Python, what you can install, you can also install the Jupyter, Jupyter. So this is nothing but a notebook, right? Because we learned in the previous class that we can run our Python code as well as a full mode, or we can also run this line by line, right? So this is the features of the interpreted based language. So Jupyter is a notebook which gives us the privilege to use line by line execution. So for that, you just install your Jupyter notebook. So what is the difference between this Jupyter and the normal Python? The thing is that in our normal Python, what happens? Just give me 1 second. Okay, in our normal Python, what happens, that .py is the extension for normal Python. Okay, but in the case of the Jupyter notebook, .ipynb, this is the extension for the Jupyter notebook. Okay, So what is IPYNB? That means NB means notebook, and I is the IPY is for the Jupyter. Got it? So this is the extension. While you are using this Python, normal Python file, you can just write as .py, but whenever you are using Jupyter Notebook, you have to save your file by using .ipynb. Okay, now let's move to our VS Code. So after installing this Python file, what we have to do, we have to create our own environment. Okay, so what is a environment? This is a virtual environment. What is actually the virtual environment is? So for that, we can say that virtual environment is something which can be created virtually, right? So without running your code actually into your laptop, you are creating such an environment which gives you the privilege, which gives you some RAM, which provides you some space to run your particular code. That means the load of that particular code is not connected or maybe hamper into your laptop or desktop directly, rather it will be running in a virtual environment, right? So for that, we have to go to the terminal, and what we have to write, we have to write this particular code. Okay, this particular code, as you can see, where is it? Yeah, so this particular code, Python one space, that's aim, venv, and env is environment, venv means virtual environment, and we are installing so -m. So this is some code which you have to write in this particular terminal. Okay, so after writing this, you have to activate that particular extension, or so the virtual environment. So for the activation, this code what you have to write, this is blinking on the screen, so you have to again put it. So why I am not writing? Because you can see in me, I have already created this environment in my laptop. Okay, so I don't want to hamper my environment, okay, again and again. So this is the all step how you can create your environment. Now if you want to create a path, okay, so what is the way to create a path? Just go to this new folder, and I don't want it to create under the env. I just want it, okay, why not env, right? So yeah, maybe up to this, and after env I am writing my python underscore coding underscore series. Okay, so this is my folder. So under this folder, I just want to create a new file under this. So my file will be class 1 dot py. Whenever you are writing .py, this is an extension that is signifying that your file, whatever the file you are using, this is your Python file. Okay, so if I hit enter, you can see my .py file has been created. So these are all the way how you can create your file, how you can manage your folder under one particular environment. And don't look up to this, because these are all the ppts which are present under this particular path. So that is not our cup of tea. So what is our cup of tea? That is, we have to know what is the way to create the Python file or to create a particular folder. So these are the whole topic which I have described to you. All right, so this is everything which is written into the ppt. So to download all the instruction, just go to the ppt and just show and just refer this video. So in the next turn, we will see that what is our goal. So okay, after creating this file, you can see, okay, so after creating this file, yeah, this is our first step in our programming, and you all know what is our step in a fast programming. In every programming language, this program is hello world. We have to print this hello world into our fast programming. Okay, so I think this is absolutely easy for you guys. So but before that, I just let you know that if you want to get print anything, this is simple statement, that is a print function. And how you can know this is a function? This opening and closing bracket denote that this is a function in Python. So print is a function which helps you to get printed your output. Okay, so similarly, what we can do, we can similarly do this thing like print and then hello world. Yeah, so before that I am writing like this, hello world. Okay, hello world, or maybe a exclamation. So if I now run this code, you can see there is saying that there is a syntax error. Why it is a syntax error? Why it is a syntax error? That's my point. The point is that whenever you are writing anything under a print function, you have to make sure that whether there is no problem with the variable. So if I write a string, how can I pass it directly? We have to pass it under one quotation. Okay, so if the thing, if the value you are passing under this print function is a string, always give a quotation. Maybe it's a single quotation. Okay, if I write this with a single quotation, that will also help you. Or if this is a double quotation, that will also help you. So now if I rerun this code, you can see this hello world is getting printed. Got it? So yeah, obviously someone of you can tell me that, yeah, just show it with the double quotation. Okay, so I'm just showing it by using the double quotation also. Okay, this is all the same thing. You can see 2 times hello world and hello world is coming. So that means the double quotation and single quotation is same thing in the aspects of Python, right? But yeah, obviously this print function is not only usable just like to get it printed. There are much more objects under this print function. Okay, so we will make a separate video under this print function. Okay, because there are a lot of things which we have to discuss under this print function. Okay, so after that, what we will discuss? Okay, so Python follows an indentation. So what is an indentation? If you just look for the C programming or a Java programming or a C++ programming, you can see whenever you are writing anything under the if-else conditioning or in a loop, you have to give the parenthesis or bracket, right? But what happens in the case of Python, there is no concept of this parenthesis to denote that particular block of code is under one particular condition or under any particular loop or something like this. Rather, we write if and then we create some space and write it from this. So this blank space, these are all the blank space. So these blank space actually denote that, okay, particularly these 4 or 5 or 10 lines, anything, this is under one particular condition or any particular like if else condition or any loop, right? So this is the features of the Python. So just go to this VS Code, and if I say like, hey, if and then I write like this, you can see there is a red. That means there is a error, right? So rather we can write it if this, then do this. Okay, so we have to make any a condition. If true, then if I hit enter, you can see that there is a gap, right? If I hit enter, you can see, look, this is the indentation. Okay, so this is a concept which is given by the Python. Now next is that it supports both single line. Okay, so previously that Python is a script language. Why? Because if we use this .py, it gives me the privilege to use multi-line code. If I use the i.ipynb, it gives me the privilege of single line code. So that means, what is a scripting language? That helps you to build a script whether in a multi-line or a single line. So this give me the privilege, right? Third point is it supports both the single line and multi-line comment. Now what is a comment? Comment is a piece of your code which is a part of code but is not usable in the code. What I mean, that means if you have suppose 10 lines of code, and if you say like these 2 lines is not usable in your code, so give a comment for this 2 line. That means this 2 line is now disable, you can see but you cannot use it in your code. Okay, so this is a command. So the single line comment denotes with the hashtag, and the multi-line comments denote by the 3 quotation ending and 3 quotation end. So let's see the example. If I say just 1 line comment, I write like this, hashtag, then print hi. So if I now run this, you can see that hello world and hello world is coming, but hi is not coming. Why? Because I give it a single line comment. But in the next line, if I say multi-line comment, you can see, and then I write it like hey, print my name is Dev. So I see my name is Dev. So if I now run this code, you can see, boom, this line is not coming. Okay, and as this is a multi-line code, I can write anything. I can write like anything if you want. Okay, if anything, this will not give you error, by the way. Why? Because we have commented it out. So that means it is not a part of our code. Look, this is happening very well, right? Only these 2 lines of code, hello world and hello world. So this is a single line code, single line comment, and this is a multi-line comment. Okay, so yeah, obviously you can also add these to denote one remark for your particular code. How? Suppose you have written this print hello world, so I can write with a hash that this is print function. Okay, so whenever I am running this, look, there is no problem, this is not coming. Why? Because this is already in comment. But yeah, this also helps you to give a remark input in your code, right? So these are the things which is under this Python language. Okay, so it have both single line as well as multi-line comments. We have done this already, right? So these are, yeah, this is all about today's class. Okay, and I think there is nothing more. Okay, so before discussing about the Internjunction, so we are just concluding up to this topic. So in today's class, we have just learned that what is a Python code, how to write this Python code, how to set up our VS Code. Okay, what is the best way to set up your VS Code, and what is an environment. Okay, one more thing, if you just want to get the debugger, just write it there, and this Python debugger file. Okay, so yeah, run and debug. Okay, so if I say debug option, hello world and hello world. So debugger is what? If we are, I'm just giving a short introduction what is a debugger. Okay, so yeah, just go to the previous line. Okay, so if I say about the debugger, so suppose you have this Python file. Okay, suppose this is your Python file abc.py, and you have written this code. So while you have written this code, there must be some error, maybe some error. Okay, that is not must be, there may be some error. Okay, so for you it is not possible, right? So there is a function called debugger, which helps you to debug your whole code to make it a error free code. So while you are running, your debugger is running behind the scene, and it checks line by line that okay, the first line executed, okay, this is perfectly errorless. Second line, okay, this is also errorless. Third, it is also errorless. Okay, so these are the things. So yeah, this is up to today's class. Okay, so yeah, this is up to today's class. And if we discuss about the Internjunction, so this session is conducting in behalf of the Internjunction, and this is our website. You can see that we give you the internship in 6 different domain: ML, data science, web development, app development, Python, and the Java. And yeah, if you want to get those PDF or the PPTs of daily classes, you have to join this Internjunction Telegram group. And you can see this is our t.me/internjunction. So this is the link of our Telegram. So yeah, do subscribe, just keep watching and stay tuned, get yourself educated more. Okay, I think everything is fine, and yeah, all the best to you guys. Just stay tuned. Bye bye.